Welcome to the ESI Africa studio, broadcasting from Inlet, Africa. Today I'm speaking with Vuyelwa Mahanyela, who is from GE Vernova, and you are the Regional Sales Executive. So here at Inlet Africa, you participated in the keynote address, and the conference is very much themed around the energy transition. So let's talk about what is the significance of gas in the African energy transition? Because I know that at GE Vernova, that is a key technology.
Right. So gas has a multifaceted role to play within this continent's energy transition. Just starting off with the gas reserves that have been discovered in recent months and years across the SADC region, in Namibia, South Africa, and Mozambique. These reserves present an opportunity for our region to decarbonize by building out large gas-to-power infrastructure, integrated gas-to-power infrastructure. And so the economic benefits are significant. But as a transition fuel within our current journey as a country and as a continent, gas has a role to play as a new baseload. Replacing a lot of the HFO and coal fleet that we see, especially here in SADC. But the other facets of gas are working as peaking power, complementing the renewables power that we're seeing on our grid more and more. So while gas is a transition fuel, the technology is the destination. And what that means is that the gas technology that you buy today as an operator is able to already run on hydrogen. And therefore you're not buying stranded assets which in 20 years will have to be converted. They are hydrogen capable today, and therefore the transition actually is from gas fuel to your lower carbon fuels such as hydrogen in future.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad that you mentioned hydrogen there, because it is a trending topic at the moment. Is that something that GE Vernova wants to get into in terms of the market itself?
So GE has been blending hydrogen in its turbines since the 1990s. It's something we've been doing for several decades now. Yes, it's become in vogue, but it's a technology that we have been investigating, researching, and investing in for a number of decades. Hydrogen being topical also needs to be clarified. What we promote from a power perspective is the use of brown or grey hydrogen. Because green hydrogen has its different uses across maritime, logistics, and other sectors. But we see your grey and your brown hydrogen being put into turbines, and at a later stage when emissions do become very onerous, you can then put carbon capture technology to completely eradicate emissions. And so hydrogen is topical across many sectors, not just power. And I think it's important that as a sector we understand the full aspects of hydrogen, from the production to moving it, storing it, the cost implications, so that we're not caught unaware when these projects are being implemented.
Right. So here at Inlet Africa, you were part of the keynote address, and we had a big focus on the energy transition, and especially for South Africa. Well, what was the key takeaway from the guest speakers?
That the transition is going to be gradual, and that we cannot abruptly walk away from our existing coal fleet. Yes, the world has gone in a different direction, but we need to be really measured in how we slowly phase out our existing coal fleet and switch it to new efficient technologies, be it gas, renewables, and other. What we're seeing globally, and is probably going to become the trend here in SA, is that coal operators are preferring fuels like gas to replace their large baseload capacity, but also incorporating renewables to further reduce emissions. And I think for me that is probably a key theme within South Africa, given where we stand with our current installed base, which is majority coal fleet. And just talking about the gradual phasing out, we have been quite strong and focused as a country in implementing renewables, and I think that is the future of all of us in the sector. It's solar, it's wind, it's battery storage, and all of that is something that is already happening but will be accelerated in future.
Mm-hmm. So you've spoken now about gas, hydrogen, renewables, battery storage. Which of those innovations and technologies are you really interested in?
As an OEM, we have a portfolio of 12 businesses which encompass all the technologies that I've just mentioned. And so for us, they're all interesting and they're all interconnected because, like I mentioned, there is no silver bullet technology that's going to take us through the energy transition. You need to consider battery storage and renewables in all forms. You also need to consider the grid. And then you need to consider the entire ecosystem around funding and making sure that these projects are implemented fully and efficiently within our markets. Cost overruns, project overruns are things that we see quite commonly across different markets, but it's just also understanding, utilizing the right combination of technologies to achieve our objectives. There isn't a single technology that's going to get us there, and for us there isn't one that is more interesting than the other. It's the combination of all of those technologies coming together.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that it is a combination because we really have to have a great, stable energy mix.
Correct. And the only way to get the right energy mix, which has energy security and the decarbonization objectives being realized, is through a mix of technologies. For every country that is different. It's based on the resources that are available in country. It's based on the country strategy. It's based on the demand, it's based on the economic outlook. There are so many factors that go into selecting the right technologies to mix into your energy mix. And I think that is something I highlighted, that countries should be given the space to define what that is for themselves and then get the necessary support from broader industry to make that happen.
Vernova, thank you so much for joining us here in the studio and for sharing all of your knowledge.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.